Okay guys, let's do a Kimura from the mounted position. Show you guys the best way to set it up is with strikes. Now, you don't only have to punch. We can elbow. I'm going to start here. I'm going to start coming down with my punches first. Now, if he's blocking the punches, I may have to add a little bit more firepower. So I'm going to start coming through with elbows. Right over the top. It's going to be difficult for him to stop all the elbows. So I'm going to come through with the elbow here, using my whole body. Now this time I see his arm, I'm ready to take it. As if I was coming for an elbow, I'm going to come all the way down, grab his wrist, put it to the floor. I can even still hit him with that elbow. That's a double whammy. Getting the arm and hitting him with the elbow. Boom, get his elbow to the floor. Now, I'm going to come underneath his arm. Figure four, make sure his arm is at 90 degrees. Now from here, I want to keep my weight up high because now if he's strong, he may be able to roll me. I'm going to sag my leg in the back. It creates another angle for me. And I'm going to slide his hand down and raise up. Let me do this in fast motion. Alright guys, listen, the arm triangle from the mount position. Start off in a good position, hips up. I don't want to punch him from sitting down like this. If I'm punching like this, I'm punching like a little girl. Excuse any of the little girls out there watching this video, but this is for fighters here, real men. Alright, so I'm starting off in my position here. Hips up, and I'm coming down, blasting, raining the terror on his face. He's bringing his arms up. Now, I'm going to find a spot. I'm going to shoot my arm through. Try to get my elbow to get in as deep as I can underneath his neck, and my shoulder underneath his neck, elbow all the way to the floor. I'm going to put my ear close to his ear, and I'm going to trap his arm right here. Now, this wrist is facing up. Put this one down. I'm going to grab my hands like this. Just grip your hands here. Now, I don't want to stay with my knees up here like this, because if he's real strong, he may be able to roll me over because all my weight is on top of him. I want to spread some of my weight out and just sag it into him. So I'm here. Now I'm going to sag my weight down. I'm going to grapevine his legs. Here. Now from here, I'm going to push my chest forward and squeeze. Pushing my head into his head and just squeezing. Let's do this in fast motion. Alright, this is a nice little fish choke that I'm going to put right inside his neck. I'm going to show you how to set up to give you the highest success rate when you're doing this. Alright, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to start off from a mounted position with my grapevines in, because I want all my weight spread across his body, pushing my hips in. I'm just being really heavy on him. I will have head control here. I'm going to keep his head off the floor so that I can control it so he can't roll me. So I'm in this position here. Now what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start punching him in his head. Starting to get him to think about that. Now that he's thinking about that, I'm going to change my attack and start punching him in the body. Here. Make him respect the body shots. Now that he's respecting the body shots, it leaves it open. His head is back open again. I'm going to put my fist right in his neck. This part of my hand right in his neck here. I'm going to grab my arm, put pressure. I'm going to fist in it and just pressure down. From here, right in his neck, right here, and let me do this in full speed for you guys. the next position I'm going to work on is called a crucifix from the mounted position. Very easy to do. It's when this guy's trying to hug you, trying to avoid getting punched. And again, that's not a proper defense, so you got to make him pay for that. So he's hugging around my waist. I'm always going to soften him up with elbows beforehand because I can do that. I'm going to soften him up here, soften him up because his head's already towards the left side of my body. I'm going to reach around, get nice and deep, and then I'm going to swim my arm inside his arm here. I'm going to walk my arm up to stretch his neck out. Then I'm going to sink into him and just lean back as I push my arm forward. Very painful, very, very painful neck crank. All right, let me do it in fast speed. All right, I'm going to show you guys how to do a modified Americana from the mounted position. First thing I want to do is claim my respect. That's what punches. Coming down, bringing them. Right to the center, working the sides if he's covering up here. Now, I'm going to work to the side here. If by his hand being on the side, it's going to give me easy access to push it down to the floor. And now I'm going to step on that with my knee. That's going to get his body to turn this way. Now I'm going to start punching here. Now his arm is here. I want to start coming up with uppercuts to the side of his face here. Now I'm going to use the momentum from my uppercut to grab his wrist. I'm going to come grab his wrist from underneath, come over the top with my other arm, figure four my arms, bring his elbow to my chest, and rotate out for the modified Americana. Let me do it in fast motion. Guys, it's a very common position in MMA when you got somebody mounted. When they don't know a proper defense to get out, they're going to hug your body and just avoid getting punched. And that's what happens when we get here. So when I'm here there, I can't really get any effective strikes and punching, but there's a lot of things I can do from here in order to get my submission. First thing I want to do is anytime he's trying to hide, I want to make it uncomfortable for him, and I want to just batter him down before I go for a submission because he's going to be begging me to submit him. So I'm going to start here. I'm just going to let him hang and leave my arm straight. Then I'm just going to put all my weight down and just ram my chest into his face. Then I have the elbow strikes to open him up, just to soften him up here. Now what I'm going to do is, since his head's on this side, I'm going to reach around his head and grab his face. I'm going to grab right underneath his chin. I'm going to turn it for a second so you guys can see the grip. Turn and grab right underneath his chin. Once I got underneath his chin, I'm going to sink my hips, pinch my elbow back, and look at the ceiling. Let me do it in fast motion. guys, this is called, they got two different names for it. Domestic violence choke or rape choke. It's very effective from when a guy is, again, trying to hide from us. He doesn't want to get hit in the face, so he's trying to hug us. Doesn't want to get hit, he wants to hug us and try to hide from the pain I'm about to deliver. But that's okay because I'm going to deal with that. So here he goes, he's hugging me here. I'm going to start to elbow to soften him up. Just elbowing him in the shoulders, just going to get him real tired and weak. It's going to make his grip weak in the back. Here, I can also, as he's holding on here, I can also elbow him to his arms here, just to weaken his grip. I don't have to break it. All I want to do is weaken it. Now, once I feel him getting weak, I'm going to dig into him and hug his head. Now, I'm going to take my hand, I'm going to make a C with my hand. I'm going to put it right in his neck. I'm not going to try to grab his Adam's apple. All I want to do is make a C and put it right into his throat here to block him from breathing. Now, I'm going to lean forward, put my head on the floor, and pressure in. Without pressuring, everything comes in and collapses in on his neck. All right, let's do this in fast speed. All right, now let's do this. It's another triangle finish from the mounted position. Sometimes you get some of these guys, they think they tough guys, these wannabe tough guys, they want to reach under your leg, try to throw you off, think they're real strong. That's all right, they can do that all day long because I'm going to give you guys a counter for that. I'm going to start off in the mounted position. I'm punching down, raining punches. I'm trying to punch his head right through the floor, and that's going to make him respect me, make him try to get me off the top of him. He's going to reach underneath my leg. That's all right. I keep his arm in check. I shoot this over the top, and I'm just going to roll right over my knee, roll right over my shoulder, and lock the triangle up. Let's do this in fast motion. All right, now we're going to do an armbar from the mounted position. These days it's difficult to get arm bars from people. This isn't UFC 1 anymore, guys. They ain't just going to straighten the arm like this and allow you to just spin over it. All right, so you have to set it up properly, and you want to increase your chances of getting the finish once you get it. And we're going to do that by striking. So I'm going to start off by punching down from the mounted position, punching down, punching down. Now I'm going to find the hole in between his arms. I'm going to punch right through and grab the back of his tricep. As I grab the back of his tricep, I pull it. I'm going to take my other hand, come right over the top of his head. That's going to cause me to rotate my body around to here. I'm going to get my knee up past his head. My other foot's going to come up high underneath the armpit. Now I'm going to lean forward, step over his head, knees together, attach his arm to my body, and sit back. Let's do this technique in fast motion. All right, set up a nice little triangle from the mounted position. I'm starting off in the mounted position. First thing I want to do is I want to start to come down with punches. I'm going to come down with punches. I'm going to get him to block. I got to get this guy to respect me. If he doesn't respect you, then he don't have to block, and it's going to be hard for you to get any submission. So you got to get him to respect you. come down with punches. Here, here. Now I'm going to grab his elbow in his hand. And I'm going to push it down to his chest. Here. When I push it down, I step on top of his hand with my leg. Then I reach under this one. Now, I'm going to pick his head up, bring this leg all the way around behind his neck. Try to get your calf on the back of his neck. Grab my foot, and I'm going to triangle my legs. From here, I can do anything. I can punch, I can pick his head up, I can just squeeze my legs and get the submission. Let me show you how that works in full speed. Alright guys, there's another technique on how to finish from the back. It's embarrassing to take somebody's back and have them escape. So you don't want that to happen to you. When you get somebody's back position, you want to take full advantage and finish the fight. Because I'm sure you probably worked hard to get the back. You don't want to get the back and let it go. So you want to finish. I'm going to start on the back. I got the seat belt here, one underneath. I'm going to hug him nice and tight. Now, he's fighting my hands. I want to free that hand. Get a free hand. I'm going to free the hand that's underneath the armpit and put my other arm on his shoulder, the one that's around the neck. Now this frees up my hand to punch him. I'm going to start to punch here. He's going to go to block. When he goes to block, his elbow comes away from his body. I lift it up higher. When I lift it up, I shoot this arm all the way across, as close to, as far past his armpit as I can get it. Now I'm going to grab my bicep, put the hand behind his head down, and squeeze. And finish with the choke. Okay, let's see this in fast motion. Alright guys, this position is called the Irish hug. I'm telling you, you got to have as many ways as you can to finish from the back, because it's hard to finish with the gloves on. And you don't want to waste a good opportunity to have the back position and not be able to finish. So I have his back. Seatbelt position here. I'm working, he's fighting off on my hands. What I want to do, he's fighting my hands, I want to release my hand that is underneath his armpit. I'm going to release that hand, and I'm going to put my other hand here, just to secure his neck. Now, I have a free hand to punch. I have his neck secured, I have my legs, he's not getting away, so I have a free hand to punch. I'm going to start punching him in his face here, getting him to block. When he goes to block, his elbow is going to come away from his body. That's exactly what I want. I'm going to push it up higher. Now, I'm going to release one foot, scoop my hips to the side, come across his body to secure the position here. Now I'm going to get my ear on the inside of his arm. Now, once my ear's on the inside of his arm, I'm going to take this part of my wrist, put it across his neck, here. I'm going to grip my hands, elbows in, and I squeeze. This is called an Irish hug. Let's see it in fast motion. All right, your basic rear naked choke from the back is difficult, so we have to make sure we have some good techniques to work from here. Because if you don't have any good techniques to work from here, this guy's going to escape because it's hard to get a choke in because you got the gloves on. A lot of different obstacles can get in the way in order to prevent you from finishing. So first thing I want to do is make sure I got my hooks in nice and deep. Now from here, I can actually start to strike his back from here. I kind of want to save my hands because I don't really have a lot of things to punch. He can block his head from here. So I want to save my hands, so I'm going to use my elbows and just start elbowing him in the back here. Now I'm going to come underneath his body and stretch him out. Now get my hands out. I free my hands up. Now this is a really good position to start striking. Again, save your hands because you have nothing but to hit with the back of the head. So I'm going to use my elbows and elbow him right in his shoulders. Soften him up. Now I'm going to come underneath his neck here, put my hand behind his head, then grab my bicep, head down, and finish the choke. Let's go full speed. Alright guys, we need to come up with as many ways as we can in order to finish a submission from the back, because in all actuality it's one of the hardest positions to finish because of the gloves. This guy's always going to be fighting my hands and it's going to make it very difficult. It's hard to get the hands behind the head sometimes because these gloves just always get in the way. So you need to have as many different ways, or be at least as good at different ways to finish. Here's another way to finish. I'm going to start off with my seatbelt, one arm over, one arm under. Over his shoulder, under his armpit. I'm going to hug his chest. Now, he's going to be fighting my hands. I got to get him off my hands. The way I'm going to do it now is I'm going to take my heel and heel him right in his ribs. You know, it may take a while, but I'm going to keep going till he goes to block it. When he goes to block it, I reach down, trap his hand, then I bring my foot over top of his hand, bring it behind his back. Now he can't use his hand to defend my hands no more. This hand's already in position. Secure the neck, come behind the head, and finish. Full speed. Okay, nice slick, sneaky little triangle choke from the back position. All right, the first thing I got to do, get in position, wrist control, solid base on his foot, knee inside, and start hammering away. Hammer, hammer. Try to punch him, soften him up. I want to make this guy want to not be in the ring with me. I'm going to make him go home. And whenever you get to that point, it's easy to pull off submissions because they practically give them to you. So I'm hammering away at this guy's face. Now I'm going to pull his hand away from his head. And I'm going to trap it with my inside leg. When I trap it with my inside leg, I want to keep my hip close to it. I don't want to let this guy get away from me. I want to stay nice and close to him. Now I'm going to keep punching. Punching. Now, once his head goes inside, I'm going to grab my shin, pull it up, and sit back. Now, once I sit back, I'm going to put my shin or my calf on the back of his neck. Now, I'm going to reach up with my leg, triangle my legs here. I can squeeze my knees here for the finish, or I can also pull this arm back and stretch him out. Let me give you guys another angle with the finish. I'm here. I reach up. Grab my shin, pull my calf to the back of his neck, lock it, and I can pull here or squeeze my leg and get the finish. A double whammy with this shot. Now let me do it in fast speed. Guys, they call this one a Peruvian necktie. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to start from this back position here with my knee on the inside. This helps me control him. I'm going to be over his back. I have an underhook controlling his wrist. Here, now I want to start to pound away at his head. I'm going to try to punch his head right off his shoulders. I have to do this, guys. You have to hit a guy hard or else he's not going to respect you and he's going to get out. So you always punch a guy hard when you get these positions. So I'm controlling the wrist, punching as hard as I can, getting him to respect me here. Now, once I got him softened up, he's not thinking about escaping. He's not thinking about nothing but going home. I'm punching. Now I'm going to punch here, then I'm going to go right over his shoulder here. This way. And I'm going to change my angle. I'm going to release this grip, and I'm going to come under this grip. Now, if you look up, I'm going to hold about right here with this across the side of his neck. Put this part of my arm across the side of his neck, grab my hand here, and lock down in here. So I start from here. I'm punching, then I slide this in, slide this one here. Now I have my grip underneath him, if you can see. Now I'm going to step up past his head, right next to his head. I'm going to step up here, and I'm going to sit down on top of his head and lock down on his back with this one. Now from here, I just kick my leg down and pull my arms up. Now, I'm going to do it in fast motion. Alright, we're going to get a rear naked choke. From the side position, it's a rolling rear naked. First thing I want to do is I want to control his wrist underneath here, just to keep him from standing up. Put my weight down on his back. When I'm over his back, I don't want to be too far over here. I want to be right on, if I draw a line on the spine, I want to be on this side of the spine, pushing in a diagonal angle. So now I'm here, this foot is out strong, my knees inside, and I'm pounding away on his head. Pounding away right on his ear here, I'm just pounding away. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to step up here. When I step up, I'm not just going to put it here. I'm going to step up and bait him to grab it. So I'm going to step up hard. Now if I'm hitting him hard enough, he's going to reach for it because he's going to just be looking for any way to get out of this position. So as soon as he grabs it, I'm going to put my knee down here, trapping his arm to the floor. Now once I do that, this arm comes up to threaten his neck, and I'm going to roll right over my shoulder, pull him on top. Already in position for the choke. Hand goes behind the head, grab the bicep, and I finish the choke. One time in real speed. Alright, now let's get another choke from this back position. Now the first thing I want to do is make sure my position is tight, make sure it's right, make sure it's proper so that he can't get out. Knee inside, got wrist control here, good pressure on his back. Now, that's just my control. What's really going to keep him here is the fact that I'm punching him in his head. So I'm punching him here, softening him up, both sides, working both sides. Now what I'm going to do is he's blocking. I'm going to grab his arm, pull it underneath, and trap with my inside leg. Now his arm is trapped. Now, he can even keep his head down. This is okay. I'm just going to punch his head back up. Once I punch his head up, I'm going to use that momentum, come around his neck, get elbow deep, and finish the choke. Now, full speed.